I'd say the final performance day was a very magical experience. There was a lot of adrenaline, there was a real crowd there. A lot of what you see wasn't choreographed, or it was all just, we were very present and in the moment. And it was just really special to finally get to perform together.
Welcome to Survive the Shows.
Welcome everyone to this exciting interview segment here at Survive the Shows. I'm Desiree, and today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Amanda Jordan, star of the Up TV movie, A Country Encore. Join us as we delve into Amanda's insight into her character and the challenges of filming this movie. Thank you for being here with us, Amanda.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure for me. So, talking about the movie, can you tell me, in your own words, who your character is in A Country Encore and what drew you to this role?
Yeah, so she has a partner and she's a singer-songwriter. But after she has a really traumatic experience on stage, she kind of leaves it all behind, moves to the big city and gets a corporate job writing jingles. Um, and then it's not until she accidentally signs the rights to one of her songs to her ex-boyfriend, who now runs a record label, that she's forced to kind of go home and convince him to give the rights back. So throughout that process, she falls in love with music and him, but I don't want to give too much away. So
Yeah, that's great. And what was your process for finding the emotional truth of this character? Any specific exercise or moments that helped you connect with her storyline?
that's a good question. I'd say really tapping into Laura's fear. She's had this traumatic event and she's just scared. Something that she once loved so much caused a lot of pain, and just tapping into that. And then, eventually kind of letting her character over time become less polished and more unfiltered. Um, she eventually can kind of, she arrives back to Laura, back to her, and she falls in love with music again. So yeah, I'd say just tapping into her fear and really connecting with that helped a lot.
Amazing. And were there aspects of Laura's character that surprised you once you started filming? And how did you that change your performance?
I would say kind of realizing how playful Laura can be. She's so ambitious and a little guarded, but in the scenes, especially with Jackson, you see the spark and this lightness to her when she's around him, and her guard kind of comes down, and it's just really kind of fun to see. So yeah, just kind of getting to play with her fun, playful side. Uh, yeah.
Great. And which scene in the movie challenged you the most as an actor and why?
Ooh, what scene challenged me the most? I'd say the scene where I'm telling Jackson the reason um, the reason I don't want him to record the song. That the song is about us. There's such a duality there because she loves Jackson and she loves music, but um, she's guarded, and there's sort of this tension between wanting control and connection at the same time. And so kind of fighting that tension I found was a bit tricky, because I just wanted to put it all out there so badly, but just having to kind of hold in everything that she really wants to say. I found that to be a bit challenging.
Great. And was there a single day on set that you still think about? A breakthrough, a disaster, or a magical moment? Tell me about
A disaster or a
a
magical.
breakthrough or a magical moment, a moment or a day in the shooting that it's sticking in your head.
Yeah. I'd say the final performance day was a very magical experience. There was a lot of adrenaline, there was a real crowd there. A lot of what you see wasn't choreographed, or it was all just, we were very present and in the moment. And it was just really special to finally get to perform together. So it was a lot of fun.
Amazing. And how did you collaborate with the director to shape your character's arc? Were there any major decisions you proposed?
Mm. Yeah, so working with the director, we really wanted to make sure we understood the difference between her ambition and her vulnerability. And we wanted her, because she was returning home, we didn't want her to kind of become old Laura again. We wanted her to, develop into this stronger, more empowered version of herself. So we really worked on like subtleties, like how I hold myself, the way I say certain lines, so that over time we can really see her guard coming down and um, yeah, and just her character strengthening and her becoming more confident and eventually falling in love with music again.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
can you describe your chemistry with your on-screen co-star? And was any of it built in a rehearsal, or did it evolve during shooting?
We actually, so before we even began shooting, we were in the studio together. So we performed the song in the studio before we began. And the director actually had us singing to each other in the studio. And instantly there was very easy connection and chemistry. And we had worked together in the past. We had done movies before. So we were already friends. And then the connection just kind of grew as the movie went on. But yeah, it really helped to make it just to make those moments feel really authentic and real. So yeah, but there was definitely lots of chemistry.
Amazing. And the movie leans into country music culture. How did you approach representing that word authentically?
Though, sorry, could you say that again? Sorry.
The movie leans into country music culture. Uh,
Yes.
how how did you approach representing that word authentically?
Yeah, so I'm actually a country music artist. So um pulling from those emotions, I really wanted it to feel, I wanted Laura, her experiences to feel lived in and authentic. So I just pulled from my own experience from performing. So yeah, it was kind of easy to tap into that.
Great. And were there improvisations or unscripted moments that made it into the final cut? Which is your favorite?
Improvisations, let me think. We um the final scene where we're called back to do an encore, I didn't know that that was going to be the kissing scene. So when we went into that, we kind of did the bow, and then the director goes, "Now kiss." So then all of that was very natural and very much in the moment. Even when he spins me around, it was all just very authentic and very real. So that was kind of unexpected. But I think that's why it turned out so well, is because it was just so real in the moment and we were so present. Yeah.
Great. And how did the wardrobe and hair makeup influence who your characters became on screen? Any custom piece you felt attached to?
Sorry, you cut out there. Could you just say that one more time?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. How did
No, it's okay.
wardrobe how did the wardrobe and hair makeup influence who your character became on screen? Any custom piece you felt attached to?
Mm. Yeah, hair and makeup and wardrobe is such a huge component for me. It's where I really become the character. Um, and the style was so fun. You could see like her style, Laura's style softening as the film went on, and she became more and more country. And um, I was definitely attached to the brown suede jacket. That just really felt like her, and I loved wearing it. And yeah, so that was really really fun to see.
Great. Uh, the movie contains emotional beats that might resonate strongly with viewers. Was there a personal experience you drew on for those moments?
For sure, I think kind of relating to Laura and her music, I related to that a lot. And I felt it. I mean, I sometimes creativity can feel really heavy after certain chapters, and I felt that. And so when she eventually finds her way back to music, I already kind of knew what that healing felt like, and so it just felt really easy to tap into that feeling because I've been there. I think a lot of us have. So so yeah, I'd say just the connection with the music really really helped.
Great. Did you discover anything about yourself, musically or emotionally, while working on this movie?
I think I discovered I think I discovered, you know, how much music matters to me. Um, Personally, I think doing music not just for perfection or approval, doing it for connection. I think, in the past, I've sort of gotten lost in that and kind of forgot, why I started it. So just reminding myself why I started music in the first place, and kind of finding my way back. So yeah, I think that's a key thing too.
Great. And what themes in a country encore do you hope will stick with audiences after the credits roll?
I think that's a good question. What themes um, do I hope do I hope people stay? I think that the theme of, second chances, like it's never too late in love, in life, in music to start again and find what you're passionate about or go back to that. And also, going home to figure out, or going home to remember who you are. I think that was a key component in this too. And just like having hope. Um, there's a lot of hope and honesty in the film, and and music, which is, a lot. Those are all important things in life.
Yeah. And were there technical or logistical challenges during production, like a tight schedule, weather, location, that first creative choices you ended up loving?
Mm. I wish I had some sort of story or disaster story I could tell you, but everything went really, really smoothly. We got lucky with the weather, and this everything just aligned really well for this film. So yeah, we didn't have any. Yeah, I don't have any any stories for you there.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. And if you could change one scene or bit in the movie after watching the finished product, what would it be and why?
Mm. If I could change one thing, I would have added maybe Jackson and I, we loved performing together. Um, so I would have added, some more performance in the beginning, or, maybe flashbacks or flash forward. I mean, hey, maybe that's for part two though. Uh, but yeah, I think that would be really fun. Just more music.
Yeah, amazing. And how did the cast and crew maintain morale during long days? Any rituals, songs, or on-set tradition for this one?
Mm. The crew was so fantastic. The producers, director, it was, kind of the perfect storm. What made it really special and what makes these projects so special is everyone cares so deeply. And we didn't have any rituals or anything, but there was just this sense of camaraderie, and we were one big family, and we were all just looking out for each other. And it's just a dream case scenario on a set where everyone is just so wonderful. So yeah, it was just fantastic.
Great. And what's a line or moment from the movie you wish your viewers would pay more attention to? Something people might miss on first watch.
That's a good question. There's a scene in the beginning, when I'm kind of walking to my desk, and I pick up this cactus and I say, I thought you couldn't kill a cactus, to Zoe, and Zoe says we have to water those roots. So that becomes, that's foreshadowing for what's to come. And I don't want to give too much away, but just kind of pay attention to the roots, and you'll pick up on some things there.
Great. And did you have input on the soundtrack or song selection? If so, how did you push for certain musical moments?
Mm. I was lucky enough to have two of my originals placed in the movie, which was really, really wonderful. The scene where the axe throwing scene, so on the speaker, that's actually the first song I ever wrote and recorded. So it's nice to see that song have a home. And then when I'm writing in my room, there's a song called "Love You to Pieces" that's playing, which is kind of fitting for that scene. So that was really awesome. And then the final song, "Count on Me," I didn't find out this until later, but a friend of mine in Nashville actually wrote it. So that was kind of a full circle moment too. So yeah, lots of fun opportunities there, and I'm just really grateful, to have music to have my music in a movie.
Great. And how do you think this role will influence the types of characters you are offered next?
Hmm. I hope that, you know, music and emotion are, two of my favorite things. So I hope that eventually, I can do more movies where music is the heart of it. Yeah.
Great. So, the final question about this movie, without spoilers, what should viewers emotionally expect to feel while watching A Country Encore?
Hmm. What should viewers expect emotionally? I think that they should, you know, they're going to feel inspired. I hope. There's a lot of hope. It's very honest, and yeah, I hope that people feel inspired by it. And there's music and love, and it's just a beautiful little movie. And I hope it, um, reminds people not to be afraid to, chase your dream and follow what it is you love, uh, or go back to whatever that is.
Amazing. And change of subject, talking about your career in general. Looking back, which audition or role do you consider the turning point in your career and why?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say honestly, this one. My first lead role, I was really, really nervous, and I felt like I was just getting my footing. It was one of my favorite movies, and I learned so much from it. But with this role, I felt like I could really tap into my skills, and not be afraid to take risks and be confident. And um, yeah, I think I just really kind of let my guard down in this one. And yeah, I hope that shows. But yeah, I'd say this movie for sure.
Amazing. And who were your early acting or musical influences? And do you still draw inspiration from them today?
My early acting inspiration and music. So acting and music.
Acting and in musical, yeah.
Okay. I would say I grew up, I grew up obsessed with Julia Roberts um, and Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman. I actually just finished watching Mystic Pizza. I was like watching it like this close to the screen, just analyzing all her micro expressions. So I love movies and I love studying other actors. In terms of music, I grew up listening to like Shania Twain and Tim McGraw. And my dad loved like Willie Nelson, Neil Young. I kind of deviated away from that as I got older, but now I'm kind of coming back to my roots, I guess you could say. And yeah, just I love country. So Cody Johnson, Casey Musgraves, I love her writing as well. Yeah.
Amazing. And how do you balance personal life with the often unpredictable schedule of movie and TV work? Any rituals to stay grounded?
Rituals to stay grounded. Yeah, I would say just always having something, staying busy, because it is so, acting is so unpredictable. You never know when you're going to book your next role. So just always having something that you're working on. Right now, I'm finishing my master's in counseling psychology, so that's keeping me grounded and really busy. And then I'm starting to write again, which is nice to have that creative aspect now too. But especially coming off of set, there's always this come down that is so isolating and lonely and a bit sad. So you have to just have something that you can just dive into right away and just know that like it's okay to sit in the feelings, but also just keeping busy.
Yeah, great. Is there a role or a genre you haven't tackled yet but are desperate to try? Maybe something surprising?
Something surprising. Uh, Anything psychological, like a
Okay,
psychological thriller. Um, I love just like going into like a character's psyche and figuring out what drives them. Um, yeah, so I think that would be something fun and different that I haven't really done before. So anything in that world.
great. And beyond acting, are you interested in writing, producing, or directing your own material in the future?
Absolutely, absolutely. That feels kind of like an extension of what I already do with storytelling. I love songwriting and I love acting and any sort of story. I have some ideas, but yeah, I think that would be so fun to kind of build something from the ground up. It would just be, a new and exciting experience. So I'd definitely be open to that.
Amazing. And how do you choose projects? What are the non-negotiable you look for in a script or in a team or uh, in a in a movie production?
Non-negotiables that I look for in a movie production. I'm not too picky.
Okay,
But, I will say anything where I feel connected to the script and the story, anything with heart. Um, yeah, it's really important that I feel connected to whatever the story is. And then working with people who really care about telling stories that matter and people who create really positive, collaborative environments on set. So yeah, yeah, I'd say that's my answer for that.
great. What advice would you give to an aspiring actor who wants to break into television movies, rom-com movies, or what do you prefer?
What advice would I give? I would say, the first step is get some great headshots, get um, get headshots, get a good resume or a one sheet, and start looking for agents that really can serve you and care about you. And then, once you have an agent, I'd say book acting classes, get an acting coach if you can. That's really important for auditions, just to continue to learn and continue to grow. Yeah, I'd say that's my advice for anyone getting into it.
Great. And how do you use social media to engage with fans and promote your work? Do you prefer behind the scenes, personal life, or creative content?
I I love um, just connecting with people and just being authentic. I think I love backgrounds. I love BTS stuff and anything reflective. I've had moments, I've had phases sort of where I don't post at all, and then I'm posting every day. I think both are important. And yeah, I just care about just really connecting with people and yeah, just sort of being honest and having something for people to resonate with.
Amazing. So, the last question. What's next for you? Any upcoming projects or dream collaboration you can share?
Yeah, so I'm actually I just wrapped a project that I'm probably the most excited about. Um I probably say that about I've probably said that about everything I've done, but they're all just so different and so unique in their own way. But this was just different from anything I've done in the past, like genre wise. So I can't say anything about it, but I'm headed into the studio to do some ADR next week. So I'm excited to see like little clips of the movie. But yeah, that's all I can say for now.
Amazing. So, this is it. Make sure all of you to coach a country encore uh, on Sunday night, this Sunday night on Up TV. And thank you, Amanda, to join us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun. Thank you.
For me too. Thank you. And thank you all for watching. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.